Welcome to the Orecast, where we dive deep into what makes you truly awesome. I'm your host, Dorchester Koning, founder of Awe Academy. In every episode, we explore the power of awe, not just as a feeling, but as a tool that transforms how we learn, grow, lead, live, and love. As each guest shares what sparks their curiosity and how they work with wonder, we connect with a deeper sense of awe. So, take a breath and get ready for some interpersonal magic. Welcome to the Orecast. Hello, Francine.
Hi, Dorcas.
And I met you, I think, probably 6 years ago for the first time at a thing called Stone Soup. Maybe it would be interesting to start there. What is Stone Soup and how did we meet there?
How did we end up there?
How did we end up there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's this place where you just end up. No, Stone Soup is an experience design week, I would say. It is a gathering of people that are curious about the world and about creating and about I don't know, discovering what it means to be human, I would say. And it's a week in which we come together. You have organizers. I've organized a couple in my time. It's open source. Anybody can look it up. But what we do is that we bring the people together. And then from that moment on, they're no longer organizers. We're all equal. So there's no hierarchy. And from that moment on, basically, if you want something to happen, you will need to make it happen. And what I really love about that is that you have a community of people that are all willing to experiment and try out things and design things. So I don't know, with whatever is around, we will design dinner experiences for each other. But you can also say, hey, I am really good at doing tarot, for example, and then you can offer that. Or you can say, I want to have a conversation about the philosophy of life, and then you can do that. Basically, it's a playground for adults to figure out what they want to do.
Yes, that's what I loved about it. Yeah, that sums it up. And it has magic to it because so many people come and bring their best, actually bring their offerings. I was going to say their best selves, but I think you bring your whole self. Because some people were really tired when they were there. Others were really lonely. And others were really sought connection and new friends and met old friends as well. So there was a mix of people that made it a really interesting place to be.
Yeah, I fully agree. And it's somehow very free, right? It allows us to really come from where am I? What do I need? What do I come to bring? But also where you can really run into yourself in a way. Like, I wish I was more spontaneous or more free, and I can't make it happen. And then, that is the place where you can then experiment with how can you deal with that?
Yes.
How can you talk to someone about it? Or how can you resolve this for yourself?
Yeah, it was also very much a place of learning about myself from being with so many people that gave immediate and honest feedback, which was really beautiful. Really
good.
Beautiful.
In a good way, I hope.
In a good way, absolutely. Yeah. And also sometimes a little surprising. Oh, is that how I come across? Oh, I didn't realize. And so it's really good to hear that from people in such an honest way.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. I think one of the people I might celebrate most in how they handled Stone Soup was that someone arrived there and within the first half day realized, I'm not in the right mindset for this right now. I can't do this. It doesn't feel healthy for me. And then decided to leave. And I was like, wow, that is so cool.
Yes.
I celebrate this completely. Please do what you need. Because it was such a signal to everybody else in the group, like, oh, wait, I can really listen to who I am and what I need. And I can have conversations with people about who I am or who I actually want to be or how I come across and what I can offer. And I don't know, very cool. I'm very happy you had that experience.
Great example too, to say, take agency, listen to your body, listen to your internal cues and take them seriously, playfully seriously, I would suggest. But definitely something to listen to. Yeah. And now that we're on this topic anyway of experience design and basically awe and wonder and learning, how has this shaped your life and your career, you could say, or maybe the steps you take in work?
Yeah.
I prefer to say that over
Ooh,
career.
it's been a long journey.
Mm,
No, I think I'm trained as a sociologist, actually. And I chose sociology and social sciences because I am very curious about how humans work.
mhm,
I don't understand how they work. I do understand how they work, but I can be very intrigued by different decisions or different ways and people act or make friends or not make friends or like these kinds of things. And I was also very interested in the sociology of work itself. Like, why do we work? How do organizations function? And these kinds of things. So my first step in my career path was actually to work for local government,
mhm,
where I discovered that if you are a very creative person that is also quite driven, that is not a very healthy work environment.
mm,
I met some really wonderful people there. I'm very grateful for the opportunities I got and for the things I learned, but that's also where I ran into myself and got a burnout and
mm,
thought, oh, this is not what I want. Um, and I wanted something more creative. I wanted to bring, the knowledge of people together with something lighter and more playful.
yeah.
Because I also really believe that, we get to experience learning through play and self-development through play until we're like 12. And then we say, no, it doesn't work anymore. Now we have to sit and listen to a teacher and sit
And be
still in a
serious.
classroom. Yeah,
Yeah.
be serious. Yeah. And of course, we all go through this development of, puberty and stuff where playing is not cool.
Hmm.
But I think it is so essential to play in life and to explore this childlike sense of wonder and this childlike curiosity about what life actually is.
Yeah.
And to constantly ask these questions like, what is life for me right now? What is important right now? How do I want to show up? How do I want to be? How do I want to be treated by others? How do I want to be to the rest of the life on this planet that is not only humans? And for me, all of this came together in what I do now,
Hmm.
which is that I create experiences for adults in the form of escape rooms at Sherlock, but I also create self-development tools and things with my own studio Nooks,
Hmm.
um, in which actually the goal always is to make you feel like the hero in your own life, the hero in your
Mm.
own movie. So when you come to us, I want you to discover something about yourself, to surrender to the environment you're in, and to hopefully walk out with a sense of awe and wonder and growth
Yeah.
compared to how you walked in.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. I love the way your own realization of how you work as a human being alongside how other people work also helped you see that, okay, this working environment for the local government was not your place. Tried it, learned from it. Also, you learn a lot from burnout. You learn a lot about what you need to be able to function in a healthy way and to support your own well-being, to support your own growth.
Yeah,
So I
definitely.
really think that's a beautiful way that you listened to yourself and then took steps to actually engage your more creative side and develop that as well in a new job and in your studio, your own studio as well.
Yeah, thank you. I also learned there that sometimes you can be really good at something,
Hmm.
but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do that thing.
Yes.
It's one of the big learnings, I think, is like, okay, I can be really good at bringing people together and translating different worlds and stuff like that. But if it doesn't come with creativity and with playfulness and with lightness,
Yeah.
then I can be really good at it, but it will come at such a cost. And
Yes.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be me. There are other people that can do it in those
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yes.
Yeah,
And they may not get drained in the way that you did
exactly. They
by
might really
doing that
enjoy
work.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this part that I remember you had a way of living by your cycle as well, and
Yeah.
having a male cycle and a female cycle. Is that still something you live by or you teach about? Can you say a little
Yes.
more about it?
Definitely. Thank you for asking about it. It's another thing I do. So through burnout and through other health experiences, I realized that my body is a wonderland.
Hmm.
It's absolutely, if we're talking about an experience of awe, I'm in complete awe with what my body can do. I celebrate it every single day
Yes,
because I
I
think
love that.
it does so many things without me actually having to tell it to do anything.
Yeah.
It keeps me alive all the time, but it gives me signals.
Mhm.
And I think one of the things we forget and that I kind of not learn anymore, maybe beyond a certain age in our Western society, is to listen to those signals.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, I'm tired, I have to sit down, or I want to eat. What do I actually want to eat? And often I realize that when I listen to my body will tell me exactly what it needs all the time. And then it can function really well. And then I can be very happy and very productive and all these things. And through this route, I also came to look into the difference between male and female cycles, and the discovery, also from my sociology background, that we function in a 24-hour society, and that is the male cycle. But you and me, Dortjes, we function in a 28-day cycle, not a one-day cycle. And that means that we need to oversee a larger period of time. And if we want to function in a way that our body actually enjoys, we need to not operate in this 24-hour cycle. And for us, these periods of rest are just as important as the periods of productivity. And what you eat has an influence on it, how you sleep has an influence on it, etc. But I think if we are functioning in a society of 24 hours that also wants us to be exactly the same productive every single day, that the tendency to become a bit harsh to yourself about productivity and about what you do can kick in quite fast. And for me, understanding how my body actually wants to function helped me a lot in bringing the softness back and the kindness and the acceptance of, there are certain weeks in the month where I can do everything super fast and I can be super social and I love seeing people and I'm very spontaneous. And there's 1 week a month where I'm not all of that and I just want to sit at home and not talk to anybody, and it's completely okay.
Yes, nothing is wrong. It's just the need for rest and cocooning and going inwards.
And also to understand that this is a physical process. It's just hormones. It's just the chemical balance of our bodies that require us to slow down because we're busy with a different process. And I love that. I think for me that opened up a whole world of wonder about how I function and how we can be in the world. At the same time, it's also a struggle because we are in a 24-hour society. And it's quite hard to adapt the society to 50% of the population, apparently. It's a constant, journey. But I really enjoy especially teaching men about this, actually.
All right.
Sometimes do workshops for men about the female cycle. And I love that because then suddenly there is such a curiosity. Like if we talk about a childlike sense of wonder, they can often be so curious about, but how does this actually work? Oh, and what can I do?
How can I support the 28-day cycle?
Exactly. It's and that is where I truly believe it is not an unwillingness, it's just a not knowing. And if I can make a difference there, then I'm very happy about it.
Great. And do you also teach this at companies so that they understand their employees or their culture better in this?
Yes, definitely. I do it in the form of talks. So just having a talk of like a half an hour or an hour, depending on what they want, about the male and the female cycle. That is then often also, changed a bit to productivity. Like how can you work in these different rhythms within the boundaries of a company and what actually happens in our bodies, but then mostly focused on how do we work with that? How do we plan things? How do we take care of ourselves? Very practical. I also really like it in the form of a workshop, which can be a bit longer, like half a day, because then I can do the talk, but we can take breaks and we can do exercises about how do you actually plan with this? How do we deal with this fact? How can you ask questions? How do we talk about this? Because nobody wants to hear from their male colleague, are you on your period or something?
Exactly.
We do not want to talk about it per se. But there are many different ways in which you can create space for this, right? By saying like, hey, I'm planning a presentation. What would be an ideal time for you? Or is there anything you need around it? Like, can you tell me what you need? And then we plan it accordingly. And then I don't have to say I'm on my period. I can also say, I would need an hour beforehand on my own, and I would like to go home afterwards. And
exactly.
Then I said I'm on my period, but I didn't actually have to say I'm on my period.
It's interesting that you say that because there are some females who think we should really be very outspoken about it and express our bleeds.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not really that kind of a person. I'm quite a private person when it comes to, my cycle. But
Mhm.
yeah, the way you suggest how we can communicate about it without saying, yeah, because I'm on my period, because there's a lot of judgment around it as well, or
Mhm.
unknowing, I guess, not really judgment maybe, but just not knowing and being confused about it.
It's a taboo still.
It's a
Yeah.
taboo, yeah, still is.
And I firmly believe you need to be able to have agency over how you want to express yourself around it. And if you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it. Like nobody needs to make you talk about it.
Exactly.
But we can create circumstances, having tampons and pads in company bathrooms is a
Yeah.
very good way of signaling like, hey, we understand that you go through this,
Yeah.
or at Sherlock, we have, we do openly talk about it. So we now have more women in the team, and they can express like, oh, I'm here in my cycle. This is what I need. But we also make a box. So we have a hot water bottle in the office, and we have
Oh, nice.
painkillers, and we have pads, and we have stuff like that.
A care box.
A care box. And it's
Oh,
just as simple as that, right? It
yeah.
exists. If you want it, you can grab it. And I often tell companies like it's about the signal you give out.
Yeah.
Even if it's not used,
Yeah.
if you point out we have this,
Yeah.
then the signal you give is, hey, we understand that this is normal and that you
Yeah.
have a different rhythm, and
Yeah.
this is a safe space in which you can express what you need.
Yeah, beautiful. Really
Yeah.
beautiful. I love how you also say that your body is a place of awe for you because it makes you
Yeah.
curious. Oh, how do I work? Oh, what's happening today? What am I needing today? Or who am I becoming today? It's one of my favorite lines from the
Oh,
poet
that's
David Whyte.
nice.
Yeah, he expresses it like that, and he suggests that when you have love relationships, you always ask this question in your love relationship as well: Who are you becoming today? So as to be open to the person that you are with that day and their version of themselves that day in that moment. And I think that's a really beautiful one to take on board. That's one I've really taken on board for my love relationships in my
Oh,
life.
I love that. It's really beautiful. Also because it allows so much space that you don't have to be the same every single day.
Yes,
It
yes, because we're
allows
all constantly changing,
We're
right?
constantly changing,
Yeah,
Also, when you have a 24-hour cycle, it's not the only thing that influences you,
exactly.
Same for us. And I think I really love that.
Mm.
Just also to offer each other the space to become who you want to be or who you feel like being today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then we can stay curious about each other. Like, who are you
exactly.
today? What do you need today?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and also in some part of the story that you were telling, you said at 12 we stop kind of being curious and being playful. Is
Mm.
there a story from your life between the age of 1 and 12, maybe? Sort of a little bit of a conscious age, maybe 1 is too young, I don't know. Your childhood that really shaped your awe and wonder and your perception of it?
Oh, from that period of time, what do I remember
It's
from
a long time ago, I know.
Oh, yeah. Um, I don't know. I think what I mostly remember is the freedom in which play comes,
Mm,
is where you can be in the playground and you can just come up with a new game and you're not thinking, is this a good game? You're just doing the game. And then,
yes.
and then while you play, you can change the rules all the
Yeah.
time. And then you can just say, now we do this. And then you try it out and it's shit. And then you say, okay, we change it back. It's so free.
Yeah, so true.
And
Yeah.
and I think that is mostly what for me I remember from that age period is this um, not needing permission to play. This
Yeah.
is just what we do.
Yeah.
And I think in a later age, you suddenly need permission, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we're dealing, and you get afraid of what do other people think of me, and all these things that are all very
When you get
useful in
adults to
surviving
play,
as a human
you
being
see their
on this
true
planet.
self.
Because
Yeah.
very quickly
I
you're
don't know,
not thinking
I
anymore
truly
about
believe that
what do
when
I
we
look like or what
play,
am I doing
we
or
let our
is
guard
God
down
saying
smart.
it's one of the
You're
things that we
suddenly
also see in with our a group of
escape
5
room or in other
people in your own
experiences.
environment, and you're trying to figure something out and you just shout whatever comes into your head. And also your bad sides come out, which is also kind of funny, right? Because suddenly it is a make-believe world, so the bad sides don't matter so much. So you
Yeah.
can be a bit bossy and then someone can just tell you, stop being so bossy, and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. You're not going
And
to lose your job for it, you know?
no, exactly. There's space to learn and grow and experiment. And yeah, I think from that age, I mostly feel that the freedom in which play comes. Just
Mm,
go with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it brings to mind something that you've started doing. Maybe, I don't know if you still do it, but you started drawing cards for births of children.
Hmm.
You started drawing cards for certain celebratory events.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, did you teach yourself this drawing, or had you always done it?
Yeah.
I think it
It's
was
also
something.
mine.
Oh,
The
wow.
wall.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, thank
Beautiful.
you. No, I taught myself. I have had some drawing lessons when I was like 15 or so. But other than that, I like in where I develop into now more and more is that instead of drawing something that needs to be perfect, which I
Hmm.
think I did for a long period of time, now it's more about what feeling do I put into the drawing. So it's often how
Mm,
I feel
yeah,
also gets in. And this is about flying and freedom and calm and serenity in the house. And then I feel very happy that I have that on the wall.
yeah,
And I think it's also one of the things I really love about drawing on walls is I can paint this over any time when I'm in need of another feeling, or
yeah,
I can leave it behind. It's like temporary, and I love that.
yeah,
But I think yeah, exploring also again there, giving myself the permission to play
yes,
with creating
yeah.
is something that I really enjoy. And with birth cards, I do that in all my work. I love translating between worlds. I love listening to you if you want a certain style of card or certain feeling, and then
Mhm.
translating that feeling into an illustration or into
Mm.
something that fits what you feel around having a child or what you
Right.
feel around something like that. I started making winter cards because I hate the pressure of having to send Christmas cards.
Oh
So I
yeah,
thought
me too.
we just do winter cards. You can send it whenever in the winter.
Sometime in the winter when people need a bit of cheer.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm not going to put Merry Christmas on there. It's just a winter card,
yeah,
these kinds of things. I like the playfulness of that. How is that
yeah.
for you? Because you also create a lot of different things.
I do, yes. Well, expression in the form of art, any form is to me is essential to have a happy life. So if
Mm.
I can't create for a while, I used to have to take the metro every day to The Hague when I worked there, and I felt like I can't create anymore because I love creating big things like life-size
Mm.
things. So they're physically big. But then I had to go back into creating small things. And I learned by doing that, I started doing embroidery on the metro. So I'd bring
Mm.
an embroidery ring and some colors and the needle and just started wild stitching, is what I called it.
Oh, cool.
No plan, no design, no penciled drawing, just wild stitching. Also, when I found pieces of thread on the street, I would use them in the stitching.
Oh, that is cool. I like that.
Integrate, what I found on my journey as sort of a logbook of where I was going. And I always got comments when people were, on the metro looking at it and wondering what I was doing. And I had to let go of the idea that it had to be beautiful because it wasn't.
Mm.
They weren't amazing works of art. They were for me, practicing working smaller, practicing embroidery techniques, using abandoned materials, redundant materials, um, creating without knowing the outcome, and learning to work smaller. So yeah, to me, it had a lot of learning just by doing something new, trying something new,
Yeah,
and taking it with me on the road, on the train, on the metro.
I
So that
love
was
that.
super interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good. And also what you say about this letting go that something needs to be beautiful, it needs to be functional, right?
yeah,
It's about an expression. It's not about needing to be beautiful. And of course, if you make commissioned work or whatever, it needs to be a certain thing.
yeah,
Um, but this is for you.
yes,
So why would
exactly.
you do anything else than what you wanted it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it gave me a huge freedom to explore what else wanted to be made. So I feel like sometimes creativity lands on you and it wants to be used.
Hmm.
So Elizabeth Gilbert writes about this in her book Big Magic, where an idea for a book sometimes will come to her. The story will just sit on her until she writes it down. And if she doesn't write it down, somebody else will. And I really love that idea that some ideas just land on your shoulder like a big bird. Last year I had a big pink bird on my shoulder going, when are you going to create? And I had this whole project called Mother Maker, and it was about aspects of being mother, not specifically motherhood, but the concept of mother and the being mother. So there were so many thoughts and ideas that came, and I integrated them in a fashion show. So I created fashion pieces to go on a runway show, and invited audience to think about what mother actually means to them. Not their mother per se, but the concept. And I held it on Mother's Day. So to make the circle complete. And it was just really interesting how, when listening to what intuition or what creativity kind of gives you, and you create from that space, it's so different than, now I have to make a masterpiece, or now I have to make something better than my last work, or now I have to live up to somebody else's expectations. It's so unnecessary, actually.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. I think intuitive drawing or intuitive creating is one of the scariest things we can do, because there's so much of yourself in there, right?
Yes.
It's like, when I make a beautiful image, I understand what beauty is, and at least some people also find it beautiful. But when I create intuitively, then it is my soul that is right there in front of me.
Yes.
And that is much more scary. I mean, all with you, that you do that on a train with all these people watching, right? It's scary. Yeah.
It was scary, I must say. Yeah. And sometimes I didn't really want to explain, but of course, if people start a conversation, I'm sociable enough to say something about the work. And sometimes I just say, I'm practicing embroidery, and they'd be like, oh. And then I didn't have to worry about what that meant. It was just,
it was
that's
just,
it.
Yeah. And it's something we all forget, right? It's like, when you learn something, there is a period of time where you're going to look very silly. I saw a little video on LinkedIn the other day about a football teacher teaching the kids, like, I want you all to look silly. And I was like, this is such a good video. We all need to look silly all the time when you want to learn something new, because I don't know about you, I'm turning 34 this year. I'm not done learning. I hope I will learn until I'm 103, if I can turn 103. But that means that I will have to look silly a lot in my life. So I better make peace with it somehow. Or I find the right people around me, like at Stone Soup, that don't mind you looking silly. And if something doesn't work, can treat it with kindness. Can say, this wasn't for me. Or I think if you change it like this, it might be, more accessible. Or say, hey, this was really fun. Let's keep this. Let's build on it.
Yes, exactly.
It's just, let's look silly.
Let's look silly. I love that as a good takeaway from this podcast. And how would you say you cultivate your sense of awe and your development in your lifelong learning? How do you do that?
I think in the last 2 years, I started to embrace myself as being a kaleidoscope. I like the term. It's being a kaleidoscope. It's like I have many different colors, and however you turn my life, or what light comes in or whatever, I am interested in different things. And I again, this permission, it's for me a big theme. So giving myself permission to make ugly things, giving myself permission to not finish things, to start things and say, this was good for now, I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to trust that at some point I'm going to find it intriguing again, and I'm going to add something new to it. And I think embracing that, like, I'm a kaleidoscope. I enjoy being good at many different things, but I also understand I'm not an expert in everything. And sometimes I can have a vision and I need help or something like that. I think that for me changed a lot.
And I like how you say find help in it. So finding co-creators to contribute to whatever it is you're trying to make, and seeing what they can add to the mix.
Definitely.
And make it even more kaleidoscopic.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, our room, The Alchemist in Amsterdam, we made with 35 different artists and creators. It's Victor and I, Victor, with who I run the company, like we had the vision together. So we created the story and what it should look like and what it should be, etc. But it's all from a dream, right? It's not, we're not engineers. We don't know if it's actually possible. So then we started finding people that are actually experts in their field to help us and to say, like, hey, this is the idea. What do you think of it? To then say, this is a really cool idea, but I think we need to alter it like this, and then it will look a little bit more like this. And, and then in the end, we've co-created this beautiful experience I'm very proud of.
Yes.
She's very much my heart on the table. We're talking about uncomfortable showing this to the world. But it is well received, and I'm very proud that we did it with so many different people. And it could
Yes.
not have existed without them.
Yeah.
Right? If it
Yeah.
was just us, then
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. And I must say, I agree with you. It's such a work of wonder. I love
Oh,
The Alchemist specifically. I think it's my favorite escape room.
really? Oh,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Yes.
You played it recently, didn't you?
I think
Or when
probably about a year ago. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was amazing. And I took my kids and my cousin to it, and they
Oh,
were also
fun.
in wonder. Like, this is possible. This is actually, you can have a job like this, creating spaces like this. And I really wanted them to be able to discover that as well as they grow up and they finish their secondary school and they start wondering, what am I going to study? What am I going to do? There's
Nice.
so many different things you can do, and so many places you can end up, from social sciences to becoming a creator of escape games. Why not?
Why not? Well, they're very welcome to come by our office anytime if you like to.
Ooh, that's an offer I'll take up. I'll take you up on. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
see how our studio functions, which
Yeah.
is chaos, but organized chaos.
Yeah, it's a word that I love is K-order, where there's a
K-order.
sense of order and chaos, and that come
Yeah.
together perfectly.
Yeah, I think you need a bit of chaos for creativity, right?
I think so too. Yeah. And just to close, bring it to close this beautiful conversation, is there something that you'd like to let the listeners think about, ponder about, or what you'd like to give them as inspiration?
Oh, beautiful question. I think curiosity can start very small. It's a muscle you can practice, right? It's something you can practice all the time. And I think just the curiosity about your own body, what we talked about earlier, or curiosity about someone next to you in that beautiful sentence that I cannot reproduce right now, but that you said. Can you say it again?
Who are you becoming today?
Who are you becoming today? Just that sense of curiosity in the smallest ways is already such a beautiful starting point, I think, in finding more awe in your life.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Francine, and thank you for sharing your stories and your insights as well. And it's a wrap. Thank you very much for listening to the Oarcast today. My name is Dorchester Koning. I'm the founder of Oar Academy, a center for professional and personal development through training outdoors and with art. If you're interested to know more, look me up on oaracademy.live.